This is the story of the spoiled student. The spoiled student used to be my friend. We trusted each other. I trusted her and she trusted me. We can just call her Anna for now. Anyway, Anna was always about followers. She was at 10,000 followers at that time, and I was at 400,000. She got so cocky that her true colors were showing. Then the next week came by and she had over 100,000 followers. She became cocky that one day she even came up to me in class and said she was gonna beat me to 500,000. I didn't want it to be a competition, so I just let it go. Then the next week she hit 300,000. And then she even started making fun of me for playing with fidgets and slime. The principal was overwhelmed with my 400 followers that she even gave me a gift. And that morning, Anna passed by and she overheard our conversation. She even saw the gift. Her face looked mad and she just stared. Then I finally opened the gift and it was a pack of fidgets. Anna was so mad that she tried to trip me and I knew it was her. I looked back at her and she instantly did something on her phone.
Story time on how my brother and I got caught, doing the dirty. And also, we are married now. So before we start, I just wanted to say, we don't have the same dad, we just have the same mom. And we honestly don't see anything wrong about it. But let's start. So like I said, he's only my half brother, and we were really, really close all the time. He's my older brother. And he was always very protective. We didn't really fall in love until 3 years ago. And also, we are from Europe. So the day we got caught, doing the dirty, we were home alone. And like I said, we were always close. So that day we were just hanging out, watching a movie on the couch. And he started to play around, flicking my ear. And then he pulled my hair. And we just started playing around. And I accidentally tripped. And my nose was bleeding. He was really scared. So he said, let's go take care of that before our parents get home. Come back for part 2.
Am I the asshole for ruining a pregnancy announcement by telling the woman she may have taken the wrong test? My husband and I recently invited 8 friends for lunch and we were asked if we could also include a new couple, Doug and Sasha. We have never met them before, but everyone who was invited had, so we said sure. At one point during dinner, Sasha needed to use the restroom, and I told her to use the master suite since the other bathroom was occupied. I was helping my husband in the kitchen when Sasha came out of the room bawling and holding something in her hand. At first, I thought she hurt herself, but she said something to Doug that caused him to drop to his knees, cry, and begin kissing her stomach. All of our friends began screaming, jumping, and crying. It was insane. Finally, Sasha tells my husband and I that she is pregnant. Of course, we congratulate both of them, and then I give them a bag to put the pregnancy test in. I will admit, I did find it odd that she brought a pregnancy test and took it at a complete stranger's house, but I didn't say that out loud. Once everyone sat down to eat, Sasha looked over to me and said, I hope you don't mind that I used one of your pregnancy tests. I just saw them and I had to. Looking at her confused, I responded, I don't have any pregnancy tests. Sasha says yes, in your drawer.
So when I was a sophomore in high school, I had this teacher who would only let the students in her class use the restroom one time per semester. Well, one day I raised my hand and I was like, excuse me, I don't remember her name. Can I please use the restroom? And she was like, no, you can't because you've already used the restroom in my class this semester. Well, excuse me, you can't dictate my bladder. So I'm like all frustrated and I started secretly texting my mom because I wasn't allowed to use my phone in class. And I was like, Mom, I'm sitting in class right now. My teacher won't let me use the restroom. And she was like, I'll take care of it for you. And I was like, okay. So like 5 minutes goes by and all of a sudden my teacher's phone starts ringing and she walks up to it and answers it and she's like, hello? Yeah. Okay, thank you. And then she walks up to me like so angry and she like slams the pass on my desk and she was like, since you have to go that bad. And I was like, yeah, I really do. Thanks. And I got up and left. I didn't even have to go to the bathroom. It was just the principle of it. I just roamed the halls.
Am I the asshole for ruining a pregnancy announcement by telling the woman she may have taken the wrong test? My husband and I recently invited 8 friends for lunch and we were asked if we could also include a new couple, Doug and Sasha. We have never met them before, but everyone who was invited had, so we said sure. At one point during dinner, Sasha needed to use the restroom, and I told her to use the master suite since the other bathroom was occupied. I was helping my husband in the kitchen when Sasha came out of the room bawling and holding something in her hand. At first, I thought she hurt herself, but she said something to Doug that caused him to drop to his knees, cry, and begin kissing her stomach. All of our friends began screaming, jumping, and crying. It was insane. Finally, Sasha tells my husband and I that she is pregnant. Of course, we congratulate both of them, and then I give them a bag to put the pregnancy test in. I will admit, I did find it odd that she brought a pregnancy test and took it at a complete stranger's house, but I didn't say that out loud. Once everyone sat down to eat, Sasha looked over to me and said, "I hope you don't mind that I used one of your pregnancy tests. I just saw them and I had to." Looking at her confused, I responded, "I don't have any pregnancy tests." Sasha says, "Yes, in your drawer."
Story time on how my mom tried to convince me to have a threesome with her. So I had just graduated high school, and my mom was single for a while. Then she started dating this guy, which me and my brother really liked, but he was a few years younger than my mom. And honestly, we were happy for her. She was very depressed and miserable with my dad, so we were okay with it because she was finally happy. So like I said, I had just graduated high school, and I always said I never wanted to go to college, so I started working retail. One day while I was at work, my mom called me and said, "Hey, let's go out shopping." And who am I to say no? So after I got out of work, I met my mom and we went lingerie shopping. That's what she specifically wanted to get. So we were at the store, and the first thing she said was, "Let's get matching sets," which was weird coming from my mom, but I said, "Fine, come back for part 2.
I didn't like to use my phone alarm to wake me up. I don't know why. I use it now, but I would use like an actual alarm clock. And so my first day of school, I used both an alarm clock and my phone alarm, like just in case to make sure it would work. And then it did work. So I was like, okay, cool. So then my second day of school, I like didn't use the alarm clock. Or no, I didn't use my phone alarm. I just used the alarm clock. And it didn't wake me up. And I was low power mode. But I woke up and it was like 30 minutes before my class was going to start. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to be late. And so I hop out of bed. I like quickly like put on my clothes. I like run out and I like go to the bus stop because I had to take a bus to get to my school. And then I call up my mom and I'm like crying on the phone because I was like, "Mom, like I'm late for school." And it was my American Sign Language class. And I was like, and it's heavy attendance graded. And also like, my teacher was deaf. And so we only signed in class, you know, to be respectful of her, to be respectful of deaf culture. But I didn't know American Sign Language yet. So I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And my mom was like, just write her a note, just write her a note. And I was like, okay. So I like write a note, like while I'm in the bus. Finally we get to school. I like run off the bus. And because I'm running, I like completely trip.
I'm gonna tell you guys why I don't keep food in my room anymore. At least why I don't keep this particular food in my room anymore. So when I was a kid, my dad used to leave the country a lot. Every time he would come back, he'd always bring us some sort of goodie. It'd always be like bracelets, t-shirts, and candy. One time after a trip to, I think it was Dominican Republic, brought us back a bunch of lollipops. These are not normal lollipops like you're thinking in your head. These are these giant brown flat lollipops. Now, instead of eating them, me and my sister decided it would be best to hoard them. Yes, that's right, keep them in our room for as long as possible. For what purpose? I don't know. I think it was probably like, no, we can't eat them now. If something happens and we need them. Bruh. It's not every day that we got candy, apparently. So we kept them in our room. We kind of put them on display, up against the wall, right in between both of our beds, in this very room. This time I was about 6? My sister's about a year and a half older than me, so she was like 7, I guess. Now, these lollipops were given to both of us. They were displayed equally distanced between both of our beds, because they belonged to us both. I'm not really sure how this happened. But one night, me and my sister went to bed, but then my sister started tossing and turning. Calls out for my mom. My mom comes and she's like, "What's wrong?" Oh my God, I'm ready. This is part 2 of why I don't keep food in my room anymore. So my mom came into our room. She asked my sister, "Hey, what's wrong?" She was like, "Oh, my body, I'm itchy." Mom's like, "Oh, maybe there's a mosquito." My sister's like, "No, it's all over." She moves my sister out of the bed. "Maybe it's your bed." She looks at her blanket. "Oh my gosh, there's ants here." She shakes the blanket. Ants crawl everywhere. Under her pillow, ants. She lifts the mattress. Guys, her bed was infested with ants. Why? There was the faintest trail leading to our lollipops. My mom's like, "Hey, you get out of the bed." So I got out of bed, they checked my bed, was completely clean. There was one measly ant, literally one, one. My bed had no issues. Sister could not sleep there. So they ended up throwing our lollipops away and we were devastated. And my sister got a lot of unnecessary ant bites and I didn't get any. It's okay, because every time we go outside, I get swarmed with mosquitoes and she doesn't get bit at all. Damn, bye.